Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. My name is Mike. I'm your host. I'm here with my buddy Lance to talk about Monday Night Raw last night. How's it going, Lance?
Good, good.
So, what did you think of Raw last night?
Eh, it was okay. Nothing special. That is good points, but I had a lot of crap, of course, and filler.
Ugh. And the other thing I noticed was for a Philly crowd, that crowd was like really dead.
Yeah, it was. Usually they're pretty crazy, aren't they? Yelling and screaming
Yeah,
and
like the
letting
north.
people know what's
Usually,
up.
the Northeast is usually pretty crazy, but the only thing they really got excited about, I think, was that AJ Styles match.
Yeah, that was definitely best part of the show, I think, for sure.
All right, well, let's get started. They opened the show with the Steph uh, promo, where going on and rambling about Triple H, and then Roman comes out and does his little spiel. That he's going to kick Triple H's ass and takes her mic away. I actually didn't mind it because they kept with the making Roman kind of not talk as much and more like a badass.
Yeah, I agree. When they keep him short and sweet and I'm going to get you type thing, instead of him telling nursery rhymes and jokes like he
Oh,
used to
like
do.
that promo he had on. I know you don't watch SmackDown, but he had one this past week that was like a good like 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god.
Because yeah, he's definitely a great wrestler, and well, he's a good wrestler, and he definitely has the look. It's just his mic skills need to just be just small, just a
I
little
was
bit
gonna
at a
say
time.
just like short and sweet and to the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Next we had it was AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. This was an awesome match that they had on Raw.
Yeah, very good match. I like when they actually have wrestling on a wrestling show, and
Who'd have
they
thought?
yeah, and of course these guys. I think they've wrestled a few times before. I'm
They've
assuming.
been wrestling on the house shows.
Okay, I thought maybe back in the indie days they wrestled a
They
lot.
might have as well, yeah, but you could
Yeah,
tell they
because
were really comfortable. And you had mentioned this. The only one thing was I think Kevin Owens messed up that one spot they were in on the one side of the ring on the top rope where he kind of like slipped or something.
yeah, because they did a bunch of other stuff and they went right back to that corner and did what they were supposed to do. But it was a botch, but it wasn't a major botch. Like
No,
I
no,
go,
it
it
wasn't
was like
like yeah,
it was like the only reason I figured it out that it was a botch because they went and did it again. Like if they
yeah
would
because
have went to a different corner or something, they might have slipped.
yeah, and
But
made
they
it
went
like
right
not
back
as
there.
obvious.
Yeah, but it's still good. Hard not to screw up when you're flying all around like those two do.
Especially when he's a bigger guy, where he's probably God like 260, I'd say.
Or maybe even more. Yeah, and
I mean, yeah, I mean to do the things he does at his size is impressive.
yeah, I've always liked Kevin Owens, so Kevin
Absolutely.
Steen.
Well,
Yeah,
what happened here? Jericho comes out and does the AJ Styles crap, and Owens sneaks up from behind him and rolls him up for the win.
yeah. I guess they gotta promote the Jericho and AJ match, but I kind of thought that really didn't need it. They don't always need to have interference and goofy
I
stuff like that.
agree.
But
And
it was
especially
still,
if they're
they
if
had
they're
it.
not doing it on the house shows and they're having a fantastic match, just let it be a clean winner. I guess they didn't want to hurt any other, either guy on TV.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah, and then after the match, Owens did his little spiel where he's talking about who's going to fight him at KO Mania, and Ziggler, Miz, and Zayn all came out wanting to fight him, and that set up their triple threat match later in the night, and then whoever won was going to fight Owens at Mania.
Yeah, was pretty good, I guess. It's
I mean, I could do without the Miz.
yeah, I'm not much of a Miz fan either, but he is what he is, and at least he's reliable.
Yeah, I can. Hey, he's doing his job for the one sense of he's making you hate him.
I don't really hate him. I don't like him or hate him. I just don't have anything for him. So
Well,
I've never
to be
liked the
honest
Miz.
with you, that's when I stopped watching for a while. Was when he was champion.
Yeah, I wasn't watching back then either. I don't think I was just hit and miss back then.
Yeah, I was the same way, hit and miss. I wasn't like when I saw he was headlining WrestleMania. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, back in the Monday Night Wars, it was a religion to be watching them.
Oh God,
wrestling
yeah.
on Monday. It's like Jesus. I wasn't even watching Monday Night Football. I turned that off. Watch it later.
Oh wow, I was back in the day. What I would do is I would watch the first hour of Nitro because it came on at 8, and then I would when Raw came on at 9, I flipped back over, and then I was flipping back and forth all night.
Yeah, here we had them both live at the same time, but the one channel played WCW live, and then they played right after they played Raw taped.
Oh wow!
From earlier, so I would always watch WCW first, and then Raw after, because it was the same night. But the only time I flipped was when they did the Mick Foley thing. They said, "Oh, guess what? Mick Foley won," and I'm like, "What? He won the championship?"
Yeah, you're like, holy shit, I gotta see this.
Yeah, because I always liked Mick Foley. He was one of my guys since I first seen him.
Yeah, and it's just like how that was, so foolish because they had, I forget what the number was, but some insane amount of people switched over like you did just to see him win the title.
Yeah, because of course I always liked WCW better because it was more wrestling than it was sports entertainment, and of course I always liked Cactus Jack. And then when he went to WWE, I liked him. And of course, when they said he won, they're telling their loyal WCW fans that one of our old WCW guys that never had a chance won. So they're telling all their fans, hey, guess what? One of your favorites is on the other channel.
Yeah,
watch him.
It's just like, how stupid could you be?
Yeah, no wonder they folded.
Yeah, well, I like Jack, too, because he was in ECW for a little while, which was about an hour for me. So he did some crazy stuff in there, too, like had barbed wire matches. And
yeah, you knew when Foley was out there, he was going to get the shit kicked out of him no matter what.
Yeah, which brings us to our next segment, which was really cool, where they had Dean Ambrose with Terry Funk. And Terry Funk gave him his old chainsaw when he did the Chainsaw Charlie gimmick.
Yeah, that was cool. I thought he was going to maybe give him a branding iron.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I thought it was cool when
but then the chainsaw.
When he revved up the chainsaw and he had this like maniacal look on his face and he's like sawing through the table and...
Yeah, that was good. But I thought once they brought out the chainsaw, I'm like, oh yeah, that's better than the... Because nobody's going to remember the branding iron. That was back when he used to wrestle Hogan back in the day.
I was going to say, that was back in the way back in the days.
And I forgot about Chainsaw Charlie. He was good.
I remembered, the only reason I remember, because when they did that gimmick, I would think I was in high school. So that was when it was really popular, and everybody was, oh, Terry Funk, When
he first came on, I didn't know who the hell it was. And I can usually I know everybody. I'm like, who is that? I know who that is. I know who that is. And it took me a while. Oh, that's
I guess it was because he wore like whatever the hell that was on his head.
Nylon stocking like they used to rob banks back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. And I'm just like, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, and he's another guy that would take a butt kicking. I used to have a videotape from that match they had in Japan. Where were in that barbed wire match, and you just see Terry Funk go through the barbed wire, and he's like hanging, and then he falls, and then he rips through, and I'm like, wow, you ain't faking that. The one match
I always remember from him is, I don't know if you ever seen it in ECW back in the day, it was him and Sabu in a barbed wire match.
Oh, yeah. That's when Sabu got his arm caught in, and they had to cut him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sabu almost died in that. Sabu missed his move and he ripped his bicep open.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it because he said, go get me tape, and he just taped it together.
Yeah, crazy. Sabu's on. He does botch a lot, like they say, but the moves he does, I'm surprised he doesn't. He's not paralyzed by now.
Yeah, or he's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy to me is Terry Funk is still wrestling.
Yeah, that is crazy. I think he's 73.
Yeah, well, I remember the last One Night Stand pay-per-view they had when it was like him and Dreamer against Edge and somebody. Or it was Foley, that's who it was. And they did all kind of crazy stuff. And I'm like, my God, Terry. I was like, really? Do you need to be doing this at your age?
Well, I guess he can't do no more suplexes off the top rope, so he had to do something.
Yeah, well, he was like all covered up in barbed wire, and then they set Dreamer on fire on one of those flaming tables.
Yeah, I love the old ECW.
Oh,
Was
yeah,
that
I was just
WWE?
surprised Vince let him do it.
Okay, that was Vince's ECW. Okay.
This was right
Yeah,
before...
Terry Funk's 71. That's
Yeah,
how old he is.
the one I'm talking about was the pay-per-view they had when RVD won the title.
Okay, yeah. Was that the one where Cena threw out his shirt and they kept throwing his shirt back?
Yes.
The crowd, yeah, that was actually pretty good.
That was a really good one. All right, moving on, it was Big E versus Rusev. This was a decent match.
Yeah, I don't mind the matches, but I'm kind of getting sick of the New Day. It's like, I understand they have to have a little bit of comedy in wrestling, but they should at least be funny. I don't find them funny anymore.
It's been really bad the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they used to be funny, but I don't know if they're getting more childish kids humor.
Like as soon as they turned them babyface, it's like they've given them garbage to work with.
Yeah.
The only funny one that the one line they said was of Sheamus.
I don't know if they let them write their own stuff or they give them scripts or... Well, I guess it's got to be hard to be funny every single time, I guess.
I know, but I just thought that it's been really bad the last 2
It's been really bad. Bad. It's stinkers,
like
especially when they're...
even the Roadblock special when they like had Big E like talking in the woman's voice and then they're doing the Bootios thing was okay, but the him talking like a woman and all that, I'm like, whoa, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, but hey, I think they're more popular now than ever, so if it's working, gotta stick with
I guess
it.
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and WWE, they don't cater to people like you and me anymore, do they?
Nope.
They cater to kids and people that just turn on for 1 second. That's why you have to have a replay every 10 minutes.
Oh, God. Tell me about it. All right, next we had Bray Wyatt and his family. They did their little creepy promo before the match with Ambrose, which it was all right.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's getting old, I know,
think. That's the problem. They've like, I hate to use this word, but they've like pigeonholed them.
Oh, have they ever? It's like, what else can they do but be creepy? But that's their gimmick, obviously. But they've been here, almost 3 years now?
Yeah.
And
I liked them better when they first came in.
I didn't like him at the beginning. I really didn't. I thought they were just copycats of wrestlers we've seen before. But then they grew on me. And I still like them, don't get me wrong. But
yeah,
they're obviously never going to be top guys.
The problem, I haven't really liked Bray since they tweaked his character where they made him like this more evilish kind of thing. I liked him when he originally came in, like in the way he spoke when he talked like against Cena and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was more like a cult leader type thing.
Yeah, now it's just like Doom, Armageddon, and I'm like, yeah. Okay.
And like you were saying, I think it's time to make him a baby face. Like, he comes in and more than half the crowd's got their phones up with the lights, cheering him.
And then they went nuts. Maybe it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when him and Triple H had that stare down.
Yeah, that was good. That was.
And I was just like, I'm like, can't you see like you're saying, can't you see the writing on the wall? I think you need to turn him.
Well, we all know who runs the show there, and
Yeah,
he runs it like his own little toy box. But it's up to him, and if you don't like you for some reason, look out. Even if Triple H says to him, "Hey, look how great this guy is," oh, I don't see it.
Hey, look what he did to your buddy from where you live, Tyler Breeze.
Oh man, yeah. Like if Zack Ryder's on TV before him, uh-oh.
And Zack Ryder is in a title match.
Hey, from Jobber of the Year for the last 3 years to a title shot. Good for him.
I know. Hey, he's going to get a good Mania paycheck.
I think the only reason he's there is because they hate Tyler Breeze so much at the moment. That was probably his spot.
I was going to say that, and probably because Neville got hurt.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's it. Probably more than anything.
Because I figured Neville would be in that match because he could probably do some kind of crazy flip move or whatever on a ladder, and
Oh, that's going to be quite the loss.
Yeah, because he's
I like Neville.
I think 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, they say 3, but broken ankle, broken shin. Who knows?
Oh, especially when you're doing something like that. I broke my ankle, and I was in a boot for like at least 2 months.
And you weren't jumping off top ropes, were you?
No, not at all.
Well, they're saying, I seen on the Taz show there, he was explaining how he broke his ankle, that he went to slide underneath, and he's got wrestling, they're not boots, they're like running shoes, and the soles gripped into the canvas like cleats into the ground, and instantly stopped his ankle, and yeah, he was going, and his ankle stopped.
Ooh.
So he rolled her over.
Man, maybe he's going to learn to wear boots now.
Well, yeah, because most wrestling boots, they got no soles on the bottom, so they can kind of slide around. Yeah, but I guess strange. He probably wants the grips on so he can jump off the ropes. I'm thinking, but he's got to maybe get rid of that sliding move out of the arsenal.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's not really a big move. The guy they got hurt on, just a slide. Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Next segment was the Big Show where he cut his promo about trying to win the Battle Royal again, and the So-So Outcasts came and beat him up.
So Big Show's a good guy now?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I know. They've changed him more times than Vince McMahon changes his underwear.
Well, they said that it was 31 times he's face flipped. Ooh. So this would be 32.
Yeah, well, remember when he was on Stone Cold's podcast? He
said that was really good.
Said it was horrible.
Yeah, but like you said, he's there to be a company guy, and do what they say.
Yeah, because what happened? The So-So Outcasts beat him up down, and then Kane came out and cleared the ring.
Yeah.
And Big Show gave him a hug, oh, thank you, and was
that looks so awkward,
didn't it?
Oh, it's like, Big Show, what the hell are you doing? Oh, thank you, buddy.
And then it was so weird because he got up on the second rope, which he never does, to cheer to the fans. And then Kane comes around and choke slams him off the second rope.
Yeah, I seen that coming a mile away. It's like, why is Big Show up there? Why is something? Here it comes. Hurry up, Kane. Go get him.
I was just like, why would you do that?
I think they're probably going to set up it. I'm thinking Kane's going to win that the Rumble, and he's probably going to throw out Show. That's what my prediction.
Yeah, it's possible. That's usually, and I hate to bash guys, but it's usually a bunch of mid-carders they throw in there.
Well, they got 30 guys they need in there.
I think it's 30. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and if Zack Ryder's in a title match, who else they got?
Well, Sandow will be in there.
Oh, think so? Hopefully.
That's the only person I'm just thinking. Yeah. I'm like, unless they're going to throw a bunch of NXT guys in there.
I just hope it's not a pre-show match.
Yeah, they already said it is.
Oh, is it? Oh.
And it's going to be.
Oh well.
You don't get USA Network up where you live, do you?
No, I don't.
Because I was going to say, from what I read, the pre-show for Mania is going to be 2 hours, and the Under the Giant Battle Royal was going to be on USA Network.
Okay, yeah. Anything they show on USA, I get on my Sportsnet channel, basically.
Okay,
it'll be on there.
Both.
It'll probably be on the WWE Network, you would think, too.
That's
or is
what
it just
I'm
a USA?
do on both.
Unless it's just a USA exclusive.
Yeah, that would make no sense.
Yeah. Well, especially because, this is a free WrestleMania they're promoting it as.
Yeah.
And I guess they got to have a good match on the pre-show so people will watch it.
I figured what they were going to do, if it's a 2-hour pre-show, they were going to throw that on there, and then that god-awful match with Lana she's going to be in.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Where it's going to be, I think it's going to be like an 8-woman tag match.
Yeah, I think so, but
Nikki will be so excited for that.
Well, Paige is in it, so she'll be happy to see that.
I mean, well, the rest of the things she'll tell them they can go away.
Yeah.
This was another... Go ahead.
I'm not much for women that can't wrestle and just go out there and look pretty. Like, I got no problem with pretty women, obviously, but if you're supposed to be a wrestler, don't just go out there and punch and kick. That was the old ECW women days. If you want to be a valet, that's fine, but I guess I can't complain. I can't give them crap for making money, I guess. It's not their fault.
I thought Lana did Bree's move better than she did it.
That's not saying much, though, is it?
No.
Bree is definitely the worst out there. And I think Lana wants to train, and she's trying. Where Bree, she's like, I don't know what she's up to, but just the way I see it is she's like,
I know what you mean.
I'm here because my husband's here.
Yeah, well, supposedly Lana was training for a while, and then she had like a really bad back injury and stopped.
Okay.
But now I guess she's cleared or whatever, and she's good to go. Yeah,
well, she's definitely athletic, so that helps. I guess they all are. Yeah, I'll definitely give him a chance. Give her a chance, that's for sure.
All right, moving on. We had, I don't even know why they did this match. It was Chris Jericho against Fandango in a WrestleMania Rewind match.
Well, the only reason they did it was for AJ to come out later and do the copycat of what Chris did earlier.
Yeah, it was just so weird. I was like, holy crap, Fandango's on TV.
Yeah. I thought maybe he was going to win. I thought AJ was going to distract Jericho.
Yeah.
And then Fandango was going to get the win. But obviously that didn't happen.
I know. I was like, I thought they were going to do the exact same thing, that Jericho did to him.
Yeah.
But, man, he had such a chance, Fandango, when he first came in. The people were, like, really behind him. And then he got hurt. I think he got a bad concussion. And then after that, he, he just was nothing after that. Yeah,
fell off the earth. There's a guy that he's actually a really good wrestler, too. They just gimmick change time, maybe, because...
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to see a Dancing with the Stars wrestler. At least I don't.
No, that was just Vince. If I remember correctly, Jericho said he was making fun of Chris for going on Dancing with the Stars. That was the whole gimmick.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Vince stuck in his world of, well, it's his company. He can do whatever he wants.
Right.
It's not like he's.
What do you always say, Lance? In his company, he's God.
Yeah, he's God in his world. He's God of WWE. So, and it's not like he's broke. He's a billionaire. He could lose a couple million, and who cares?
No,
You know,
he probably wouldn't bother him one bit.
oh, I'm sure he wants to make more money. Who doesn't? But yeah, it's his toy box, his toy. He can do whatever he wants with it.
All right.
You know,
Next, we had Kevin Owens came out and announced that the triple threat he picked with Stephanie McMahon's blessing was Stardust versus Sin Cara versus Zack Ryder.
You know what bugged me about this was JBL. He started saying, these guys don't even deserve to be here and all stuff like these guys are crap and all that. It's like, well, we get it. That's why he picked these three guys, because he knows he can beat them all. So, but, well, that's what they're going for. But you don't need to bury these other three guys.
It's like the guys are barely on television and you're killing them.
And they're good. You know, Sin Cara was just the tag team champ for a bit, and Stardust. I like Stardust.
I actually like it because whatever they give Cody, he makes it work.
Exactly. He's so underrated.
Absolutely. And I've never minded Zack Ryder. I never understood why he got buried anyway.
I think he got on Cena's bad side, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the kiss of death.
Yeah. I guess when he was doing the thing with Kane, when he got thrown off in the wheelchair with Kane, I guess he complains to something about Cena. This is, I don't know if this is true. This is what I just read in the dirt sheets years ago. And Cena just said, well, you don't like it? How about this?
And he's officially been buried ever since.
Exactly. Don't piss off Cena. Cena seems like a nice guy, too, in real life, you would think.
Yeah, you would think that. The ending here was Owens got beat up by all of the participants because Ziggler, Miz, and Zayn all came down, and all six guys started doing their moves on him, and he kind of shimmied the hell out of there.
It was good.
Which set up his match for WrestleMania, where he's having a 7-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title.
That should be good. That's a match I'm looking forward to.
I actually hope they open the show with that.
Yeah, it could be. They like to open up with something big every time, don't they? Well, it's WrestleMania. To get the
crowd hot.
Yeah, I'd hate to be the match after that, though.
Hey, it's like when Triple H wrestled Randy Orton that year after HBK and Undertaker.
Yeah. Put everybody to sleep.
Oh God! I mean, and I don't dislike Orton because I think he's.
Oh, I do. I don't like him at all.
He's just his character is so boring.
I've never liked him since day one.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I watched. It was before Randy got hurt, and a couple of my friends were over, and he opened the show against Sheamus, and they put us to sleep.
Orton, you're right. He's definitely a good wrestler, but he's just so bland. And one of his dad, Cowboy Bob, was one of my favorites. So I thought, his son, I'm gonna like this guy. And I was just so put off by him. And then I just didn't like him, and I've never liked him since. I just got stuck in that. I don't like him, and that's it.
Right.
But he is definitely a talented wrestler. I'll give him that.
Oh, absolutely. Next, we had the segment where Steph went to leave the arena, and we saw Triple H come out of that 4x4, to kiss her and whatever, and they get in, and the thing pulls up for them to leave, and Roman Reigns is in the way and starts beating the snot out of Triple H.
I missed this part of the show.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. What they did was he
sounds good.
Yeah, he was basically blocking their way to get out and came storming up to the vehicle, opened the door, and pulled Triple H out and started beating him while Stephanie's screaming bloody murder.
Well, like you said, I like the to kick butt Roman Reigns character. It's good.
Yeah.
It needs to do that.
Because
And I'm glad he's not.
he beat him up for a little bit, and then Triple H like hit him with the door on his vehicle or something, and like stunned him enough, and he like jumped in a car, and they sped off 100 miles an hour.
Okay, that's good backstage segments are always good.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible because they had like Roman looking like kind of like menacing as they like went drove away, so it wasn't terrible.
As long as you didn't punch through the window like stupid Goldberg did that one time.
Yeah, I can't believe when he did that.
Yeah, well, they even gave him a bat, and they said he's picked up. I can't remember. Obviously, it must have been Sting's bat, and he was like, "Yeah, you're supposed to smash the windows with the bat." And he went into his. He's like, "No, I'm too tough for that. I'm gonna use my fists." And if you've ever punched a window, going through is the easy part. It's when you pull your arm back is when you always get cut.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Next, we had Natalya versus Charlotte. This was actually a pretty good Divas match.
It was. It was good. I'm liking Charlotte more and more every time I see her.
I like how they're building her up as a believable heel.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was kind of
Natalya, of course, is always good.
How they had Becky and Sasha Banks out at ringside after the during the match, and they kind of were like teasing the tension.
Yeah, building it up.
Yeah,
those girls are good.
I think that's going to be a phenomenal match.
Yeah, it should be one of the best matches of the night, I'm thinking.
If they give them enough time.
I'm thinking they will, just because they got a lot of time to fill. So
that's true, because if they put the Battle Royal and that other Divas match on the pre-show, then there's still a lot of time, because they still have 3 hours to fill.
Well, they got the 20-minute Undertaker intro, so they got that filled in.
You're not kidding, dude. I've never seen somebody walk so slow to the ring.
Yeah, especially in the stadiums, too. He's got a long way to go at Cowboy Stadium.
What, a good 40, 45 minutes?
And Triple H is going to have a long intro.
I will say this. Triple H always has very cool WrestleMania entrances.
Yeah, most definitely he's got some of the best.
Yeah, like the one
if not the best.
The Conan the Conqueror, and then like last year he did the Terminator one.
I always liked the Motorhead ones, but of course that's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, no, but those were cool too. He was at He was at 17, I believe.
I think twice they had Motorhead there. I'm not sure exactly which ones.
I remember the one year was when Austin turned heel. They were there.
17, yeah, that's the big WrestleMania.
I remember that because that was the year he fought Undertaker. When he was still riding the bike.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had to give him the bike gimmick. He had a hip surgery and he couldn't walk to the ring. That's why they gave him the bike.
Is that true?
That's what I heard. He couldn't walk to the ring, so they had to get him there somehow.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I don't know if that's true, but that's I've heard that a few times.
Well, that would make sense then, why they kept him in that gimmick for a while.
Yeah, because he had hip replacement surgery, and then he had another hip done. So,
man, and he still looks
I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, well, he still looks great in the ring.
Yeah.
Considered.
Yeah. As being a big guy, too, you think your body break down a lot quicker.
Absolutely.
But, hey, you only got one match a year. That's a pretty good gig.
Right. Well, they've been using him a little more this year, so he must feel really good.
That's true. He's been out there to confront Shane a few times.
And then he did Survivor Series.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
he did the match where they buried the Wyatts again.
No, yeah, of course.
And that's and then he did the one with Brock where I thought he was going to get friggin' killed.
Yeah, Brock's scary in there sometimes. It's like, oh my God, be gentle to Undertaker. He's an old man.
Well, I talked about this with someone else. I really don't think Brock knows his own strength because look what he did to poor Jamie Noble.
Oh, yeah. Or when he threw...
Yeah, where he, like, chucked him through the barrier and, like, he broke his ribs and punctured a lung.
Or when he threw the car door into the crowd.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's just like... Threw that like a frisbee.
Dude, when he had that pickaxe, I'm like, that is frightening.
He missed his face when he hit the corner and it bounced back. He missed his face by, I mean, mere inches. We almost had a Owen Hart thing going on in Raw there.
I remember you talking about that, and I rewatched it, and I was like, oh my God, you're right. But that guy...
It had to be 4 inches away. That spike would have got him right between the eyes.
That's scary, man.
Yeah.
All right, moving on, we had Bubba Ray Dudley versus R-Truth. This was more just like a quick match filler, kind of like, you know?
Yeah, to set up the Usos to come running out.
Yeah, because Bubba won, and then the Usos, and then Goldust came out, and then the Usos came out after that.
Yeah, I kind of remember most of it.
And then they were going to, because the Usos beat him up, and they were going to put him through, Devon through a table.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And Bubba pulled him out at the last minute.
I wish Bully Ray would come back.
That they didn't add like a stipulation or something to their match.
We still got one more week to come. I think they're setting that up.
I hope so, because considering that WrestleMania is like less than 2 weeks away, the Raw was not very exciting.
No, it was like what they call them, throwaway shows.
Yeah.
It had its good points. It had some really good points, but it's just too much filler crap.
Oh my God. Like, I didn't even, like I told you before I called you, I didn't even write down the, like, 10-minute, maybe more, like, you know, little segments they had, people talking about how great Shane McMahon is.
Yeah. It's like, we know if anybody watches wrestling, but they got to cater to the new crowd that flips in every week. It's like, do they really have people that just come in every week and watch? And
I just find that hard to believe.
Yeah, it's
like, this isn't 98 anymore where people, you know, a lot of casual fans were watching more than, you know, us regular fans.
Yeah, or diehards here, you know. You'd think that's the people you'd want to cater to, but I guess it's, like I said, it's his show. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Right, absolutely. Moving
we
on.
Don't have to watch, but of course we do.
Oh, God, yeah. Next was Vince came out and he cut his promo where he said if Taker, he basically upped the ante on WrestleMania, that if Taker doesn't beat Shane, that this will be his last WrestleMania.
Well, this doesn't make sense. So if Taker loses, Shane's in control. Well, how is McMahon going to fire him or do whatever? He's not...
Yeah, and it's almost like they made it sound like he's going to retire.
And does it mean that he can wrestle at Raw but not WrestleMania?
I know, it's so vague.
It was very vague.
Like, if you're going to... I think it would have been better if they just said, if you lose, you're retired.
Yeah, you lose, you're done. You're fired. Something like that.
Yeah, because like you said, I could go wrestle on SmackDown. I could go wrestle on Raw. Just not WrestleMania.
But the thing is, if he loses, then Shane's in control. Well, then Vince doesn't have the power to do anything.
Yeah.
It's just they got it wrong. I don't know. But we get what it means, but it's like he's a little more.
Well, like you say, the
little
people
clarification.
that don't tune in every week, they'll just be like, what does that mean?
Yeah, you could even tell the announcers were kind of like, what does that mean? And especially Cole, he is like, he's not the. You know me, I don't like Cole that much.
I don't either.
It's just that it's that he's told what to say, and can't blame him because he's told what to say. But he was totally confused too, and if he's confused,
absolutely. Well, I really like the guy that they have on SmackDown. I know you don't want SmackDown, but I really
I have heard him though. I have heard him. He did a pre-show match on one of the last pay-per-views, and I really like him too. He sounds like an actual sports commentator.
Well, apparently he used to do commentating. If correct me if I'm wrong, for New Japan at some point.
Could be. I have no clue.
He's done like boxing and UFC, I believe, and like he's done, different types of like professional announcing gigs.
And you know what I like about him is he actually calls the match. It's not a bad stand-up routine and $9.99 every 5 seconds.
Absolutely, and what they did now, and I've watched bits and pieces of SmackDown. They turned heel King back into a heel commentator, so him and King tend to work pretty well together.
Well, that's cool. Maybe only thing I don't like about SmackDown is it's taped. I find it hard to watch taped anything.
It's been really bad lately, where it's a lot of filler.
Oh God! If there's you're saying there's filler on SmackDown, and you already know how much filler I see on Raw.
It's worse.
Yeah.
Because I'll watch it sometimes, but I'll like look at the tapings. Like one weekend, I'm like, this was the main event.
Yeah. I liked back in the day, when I liked the brand extension, whatever it was called. That's when I watched it, because if you wanted to see Chris Benoit or Eddie Guerrero, you had to watch SmackDown.
Absolutely.
Otherwise you weren't seeing them.
And I always liked it because it gave different guys a chance.
Exactly. More room for more people.
Yeah, and it seems like they're headed back that way, and I don't mind that, because then they could probably call up some guys and get them more noticed on SmackDown.
Yeah, it could be like the minor leagues to the pros, almost like NXT is kind of gets the minor leagues, but this could be like semi-pro.
Kind of like SmackDown is to get your feet wet, and then once you build yourself up enough, they move you to Raw.
Yeah, and because it's taped, if the guys do screw up real bad, they could just, we're not playing that one.
It's funny you mention that. They've been piping in cheers for Roman Reigns on SmackDown.
Oh, that's the worst, especially when you hear the cheers and you look at the crowd, not one person's cheering.
What? Yeah.
It's like, who's cheering for this guy?
And it was when Hunter beat him up that one Raw a few weeks ago. They had to pipe in boos for him because the entire crowd was cheering him.
Well,
because he like cut a promo about Reigns, and they're all like cheering that he beat him up.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Was the main event was Dean Ambrose against Strowman. This was an alright match.
Yeah, kind of odd that they had Strowman out there instead of Harper or Rowan.
Yeah, I understand about Bray, because I guess they're trying to be careful with him with his back.
And I'm thinking, too, they want him going against beast guys, huge monsters, because he's going to be going against Brock. So
yeah, they're trying to make it believable, but they wanted to keep both guys in a position that worked.
I guess makes a lot of sense, though. They don't want to have either guy fall down the totem pole.
I mean, because Ambrose was really beating the snot out of him, and then Strowman would get him and do like one move and do like, pander to the audience. So at least he's getting that.
I sure like Ambrose. He's probably my second favorite right now. And,
I really wish they would let him have the title, but I don't think they'll do it.
No, that'd be quite the swerve, I guess they call it. But maybe sometime down the road, but I can't see it. He just doesn't have the look that they want. He doesn't have the big giant muscles and the bad tattoos and the.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's sad because he reminds me a lot of Roddy Piper in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, Roddy, kind of just the gritty. I won't quit.
And then, part of me is that, and then the other part reminds me of Brian Pillman, where he's just the wacky, loose cannon type guy.
Yeah, Pillman was one of my favorites for sure.
Absolutely. So what happened here was Ambrose got DQ'd because he started whacking Strowman with a chair. And, if I remember correctly, he beat the crap out of him with it, and then eventually hit him with a dirty deeds on the chair.
Nice.
And it was funny because Strowman really didn't sell it. He kind of bounced, he hit it, and then he almost bounced right up.
That's because he hit him so hard.
He didn't completely get up, but he got up on all fours, and then you saw Bray and him, and then he got back down, and then he got back up.
Say, oops, got up too soon.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Nobody will see. It's only live TV.
And then they had Heyman on commentary talking about Lesnar and all that. And then after he hit the dirty deeds, he was kind of mouthing off to Heyman, telling him, this is what's coming for Brock, and all this is nonsense.
Well, you can never go wrong with Heyman on the mic, can you?
Oh, God, no.
He's gold. He's
just so much fun to listen to.
Yeah, he is. I liked him back when he was Paulie Dangerously back in the AWA and way back when.
Yeah,
when he had hair.
Right. When I had messaged you this earlier because a friend of mine was at the Philly show last night. The dark match they had was an 8-man. It was the Wyatts against Ambrose, Zayn, Ziggler, and Reigns. Well, apparently, Luke Harper, I haven't gotten confirmation yet, but apparently he blew his knee out last night.
Yeah, I see the video. He wasn't even doing. He was punching somebody in the corner. Somebody was in the corner and he was punching him, and he went down.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, it didn't look good.
Yeah, and then he rolled right out, and he was kind of flexing his knee, and then he went to stand up, and he just kind of collapsed to the floor, and then they rushed in, and so that's not good. If you're just standing there punching somebody and your knee goes out, that's got to be something, ACL or something.
Yeah, and that's such a shame.
I hope not. Yeah,
because
I like him.
Yeah, and he's one of the more underappreciated guys.
Oh, he is so underappreciated. He could be like almost the next Undertaker type guy. I mean, like in big, tall, lanky guy that can fly.
Absolutely, and he's not young either. I think he's old. He's like 35.
Yeah, I didn't realize he's been wrestling for like 15 years. I heard he was on. I can't remember whose podcast he was just on, but it's like, holy crap, I didn't know he was out that long.
I think
or like around that long.
Right?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, he's been wrestling a lot. And the other thing, if you saw that, then you saw the fan that attacked Strowman.
Yeah, the video I seen, you couldn't really see what was going on. But, yeah, what kind of idiot's going to punch him?
I laughed because I was like, out of all the people you're going to pick a fight with, you're going to pick him?
Yeah, you better have a bat or two. You could break a bat over that guy's back, and he'd look at you and go, excuse me?
Well, and it's like, it looked like the guy, all he did was try to, like, rake his eyes. And I was like, really?
He was trying to get maybe he thought Vince would see that and hire him. There you go.
Because, like, all you saw was Strowman, like, kind of stumble away and, like, point to him, like, get him the hell out of here.
Yeah. Like I said, I went and seen that wrestling about a month ago, and I was like a foot away from that guy, and holy crap, I felt like a midget. And I'm not a small guy.
That's what I was going to say. And he's got, what, like 6'7", 6'8"?
Oh, yeah, 6'8", 6'9". And I'm like, holy crap. I mean, not just girth, like how big his back and arms, and it's just like, holy crap.
Because I think he was a former power lifter.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, must be, because, yeah, he had muscles on his back, too. It's like, holy, and I'm not really muscle, I mean, just like big, you know. It's like, what? Yeah, like I said,
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, you could hit that guy with a bat, and the bat would break, and he'd be like, excuse me?
Well, and you were really close, right?
Yeah, I was second row, but I was basically first row, because I was right in the corner. So
yeah, so then you saw him up close, so you're probably like,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, Big Show was there, too, but he was too lazy. He didn't even come to that side of the ring. He sat at his corner at the other side and waited for the tag and got the pin from
What's interesting, my friend that went last night, we were talking before I got on, and he said when he was leaving the arena, he actually saw Bray Wyatt had Luke Harper in a wheelchair, and he was wheeling him into an ambulance.
Well, that's definitely not good if he can't walk on his own power. And I'm sure it's also safety's sake.
That's what I was thinking too. And then the other weird thing, I don't know if you stayed after the live show, but he told me he tried to get like autographs, like, you know, wait around. And he said
I didn't do that.
WWE security told him that it's their rule that the wrestlers are not allowed to like mingle with the fans.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. The security there was the show security, and then there was the WWE security. Because I even noticed, I watched the when that fan when that tried to hit Braun or whatever.
Yes.
I checked out and looked at the security guard, and it was the exact security guard that we had. Bald-headed guy who kind of looked like the guy from Pawn Stars, the owner.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked just like him, and this guy was a jerk. He was screaming at people, "Sit down!" And he kicked the guy out. Stardust come out, and he was on the top rope, and he was pointing at the crowd. And this kid got up, this big kid, and Stardust is like, blah, blah, blah to him. And the kid's like, "Yeah, I'll fight you," you know, big smile on his face. He's part of the show. So later on, Stardust was now on the floor, and he was close to the kid. And he's like, "What, you want to go?" Like, Stardust is playing to the kid, and the kid is playing back, joking, having fun. That bald-headed, I'm not going to say it, came over and said, "Kick him out. Kick him out." And I was right there. He was right beside me. I go, "Why are you kicking him out?" He was having fun.
Yeah,
You're going to kick anybody out? Kick Stardust out. Yeah, he had a kid. He wasn't a kid. He was about 22 years old. And
but still,
he had the biggest smile on his face because he was part of the show. You know, Stardust started it, you know. And you know what was the worst about it? They dragged him out and tasered him. Oh man, I almost flipped out.
And like my friend said, and they wonder why us fans feel disconnected from the product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're pulling stuff like that, and then you're not letting your wrestlers come out and, you know, sign autographs after shows or before shows, and there's a problem.
I guess they don't care.
I know.
They know.
It's just amazing to me because every show I've ever been to, the guys come out and they'll take a picture with you or, you know, sign something or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, they want to get on with their day. They want to get, you know, but what's like, I can't remember what wrestler was talking about. He goes, I may not remember that fan, but that fan's going to remember this moment. You
Right.
know, I'm going to sign him an autograph. I don't know who this kid is, but that kid's going to remember that moment for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
And if I'm a jerk to this kid, that's all he's going to remember for the rest of his life, even if I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I always hear about Bray Wyatt, that he's a really, really nice dude.
Well, his dad's Mike Rotundo, isn't it? So he was a real nice guy. So,
because my buddy told me yesterday, he said last night, even though he was wheeling Harper in, after he wheeled him in, my buddy like yelled to him, and he said he looked up at him and waved to everybody, and then kind of like went on his way.
yeah. Well, hey, if I was famous like that, I'd want more fans, not less.
Yeah, but, you'd be surprised some of the people that are, wrestlers that are nasty. I met Mick Foley, and he was super cool.
Oh, well, you could just tell he is. But he's also a fan, though, isn't he, of wrestling? So.
Yeah, I met him when I was a teen. When I was like 16, and he came to this area, and I'll never forget it because he was signing at like a bar and grill, and I literally had my mom, because I was like 16, take me there, and we like ate at this place and stayed there like all day till he came. So I was like the second or third in line. So I was telling the people in line how I was nervous to meet Mick Foley. Well, Mick Foley heard me, and he turned around and he says, "Why are you nervous?" He's like, "I'm the one that's signing my name. I should be the one that's nervous."
Cool. Yeah. Well, I think I've seen a picture somebody put on the internet. I met Brock Lesnar, and there's a picture of the guy standing there with Brock Lesnar beside him, and Brock Lesnar looked like he wanted to rip this kid's head off.
Oh, God.
It's like, what are you wasting my time? Like, the kid didn't say, "Hey, can I take a picture of you?" He just stood there, and then someone of his buddies said, "Hey, Brock," and he turned and looked, and he took the picture.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's like, you don't be messing with that dude.
The only time I've ever seen Brock Lesnar smile in a picture is with his kid.
Yeah. Well, he definitely seems like one of the guys that just wants to get in, do his job, and get out. So.
Absolutely.
All
right,
but hey.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. We're going to get out of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.